Uf, ahí está, yo creo que ahí ya se escucha, ¿va? ¿Se escucha bien todo? Ahí para la madre que quiera ver el partido. No hay otra forma de verlo, así que yo lo puse ahí en Star Plus para que lo puedan ver. Solo me puedan confirmar si se logra escuchar bien, sí va. Uf, no, la que te comiste, papá. Casi. Diego Cuque. Ahí van, hay mucho individualismo, no han llegado así con claridad. Evans otra vez se comió una clara, pero ahí van. Y la transmisión la pasaron solo en inglés, así que no quedó de otra. Me dicen si se logra ver bien, se escucha mejor. Está en VIX. Ah, ese no lo había visto, bus. Te juro que no lo había visto. Es que como tengo Star Plus, solo aquí lo busqué. Solo aquí lo busqué, pero. Pero VIX sí, no tengo la aplicación. Si se logra ver bien, ahí va. Ya somos 30 pelones viendo el partido. ¿Ustedes piensan que la alineación estuvo buena? Haber sacado a De Carlo y a Sagastume, no. Uf, jugadito. Es que les falta mucha claridad de juego. No son muy colectivos. Uy. Jugadita buena. Ahí está, es tuya. No. ¿Cómo te la comes? Dale, Andy, es toda tuya. Rancancosh, la mandó a volar, papá. La mandó a volar. Siento que Guatemala tiene que aprovechar estos partidos para golear, pero no se adaptan todavía, les falta mucho. Siento que les falta esa presión de llegar más. Approaching it from a more measured and thoughtful perspective of just trying to play passes on the ground between the lines and get a quick combination that springs somebody into the box. Creo que me está enfocando mucho a mí, pero se voy a hacer un cambio en la cámara ahorita. 30th minute in a 1-0 match. And offsides. Ahí ya no me tiene que enfocar tanto a mí, sino que al partido también. Resume play on Tuesday. And for some teams, it'll be their third matches. It'll be the second for others. As we've got a foul here. No, el árbitro tampoco ayuda. Lo estoy viendo por Star Plus, ahí lo están pasando, pero lo siento si no se logra ver bien. Pero es lo mejor que puedo hacer ahorita. The captain for Guatemala. Barbados, a team that Guatemala beat on Friday, did not play today, so their second game will be on Tuesday against Curacao. That nation will be playing their third having, first of all, beaten this St. Martin squad and then tying Aruba earlier today.
Aplicación de VIX. Quiero ver cuál es. Creo que sí es de paga,
Quarter of an hour left to go here in this first half. Barracuts.
Aguas que si llegan San Martín. San Martín está teniendo también sus llegadas, pero no son tan claras, ¿no? Espérate, pues voy a intentar enfocar más la cámara, espérate. Vamos a ver si se puede hacer más.
Can't be impatient. And here is Daniel Mendez. And it's running on, overruns it. Mendez trying to win it back and does.
Se me va muy desenfocado.
Player down here for six. Looks like David Zephyr, who was on the deck.
Ahí.
Came on as a second half sub.
Se mira un cacho mejor, no. Le voy a subir un cacho.
Tangled up with Mendez here.
Ahí ya se mira mejor, no. Y el problema está en que se tiene que ver un poquito.
There's the manager Marvin Cabrera. The few of his players coming over to the sideline. The 44-year-old from Mexico.
Espérate. Solo lo que quiero hacer ahorita es bajarle un cacho más el brillo para que se logre ver bien. Es que aquí ya se mira muy fuerte. Aquí es donde mejor se puede ver.
Now, St. Martin without a long history here in this event. A country in the northeast of the Caribbean, an island. About 200 miles.
¿Será que me lo bajan si dejo el ESPN? Nah, no hay clavo. Igual no se mira como que fuera directamente el partido. Si se mira mejor, no. Giovanni, confirmame si se mira mejor ahí. Porque la otra opción está, espérense. Veremos si enciendo la luz. Se mira más decente, ¿no? O se mira menos.
This is Guatemala City, the most populous city in all of Central America.
Ahí se mira más decente, ¿va? Sabes que tenemos gente ahí.
Vale, madre.
Sabes ahí. Correcto, que estamos pasando el partido en vivo. Hay gente que lo quiere ver, vos, si no, no lo pueden ver.
Blasted out by McLaurin. One of his weaknesses is
vamos a ver si sí lo bajan, vamos. Hay que hacer la prueba.
Anytime, whether he's punting or just playing the ball from the ground at his feet, not always accurate, and sometimes a little impatient in his clearances.
Pero si no me gusta es de que no la estén pasando en español, hombre, que cantaba eso.
Barracuda turning. Has some space in the midfield. It's by Escobar. It's a giveaway. It's going to allow a transition opportunity for Guatemala. Mendez will drop it off for Kankosh. As a man blitzing down the left-hand side.
Ahí está Andy.
And now Munoz. And instead we'll have a point. 10 minutes left to go here in the first half.
Vamos a ver, pues.
go short. Rudy Munoz.
Ahí está.
Okay.
Ahí ya no pasa nada, ¿eh?
Second time
Ahí
in a
sí
row
ya lo
they've done
pueden
that
ver
from that very
tranquilos.
spot with a corner kick. And by going short and St. Martin not covering, they get the opportunity to play it into the box a little more precisely. You don't have to kick it in from distance, so you can be a little more targeted with the way you want to play it in. I'm surprised St. Martin hasn't reacted more to that and tried to cover it. Typically, it's one of the first things you look for. If you're defending a corner kick, you cover the short man, make sure that that's taken care of. Guatemala has gotten away with it now on a couple of occasions. Sasha Barakat makes the pass, then makes the run. Well, in the live C standings, Curacao may be on top by a point, but they, of course, have played and completed one more
Ya
game.
no se puede acercar más el micro.
And as it stands right now, Curacao with 4 points, Guatemala with 3, but that's obviously pending the outcome of this Guatemala match with St. Martin here tonight. However, Guatemala does
Pues en VIX no
have the lead
aparece
over
nada
Curacao
mucho.
and every other team in the group on goal differential, regardless of who may have a game in hand. They are +1 in that category. And a little too far for Mendez, who didn't react in time. St. Martin without a shot. Guatemala got 2 shots in the opening 3 minutes. And they've had several shots overall, but their only goal coming from a St. Martin own wing. Off a corner kick, Tyler Flanders deflecting it into his own net. Olga Escobar. Out wide for Carlos Aguilar. Now Rudy Munoz. Oh, good move. Crafty.
La jugada de Rudy la hizo muy bien. Ahí va.
Now from the top of the box. Never made it through. Drilling back for Hector Krowitz. For Evans. Lost it between his feet, but gets it back. St. Martin, scrappy defending in tight spaces.
Ahí van, pero les falta todavía. No llegan al arco.
Now coming in this year, St. Martin.
Estaba buscando en VIX, pero en VIX no aparece nada mucho.
Under 20 CONCACAF Championship of
Es
no
que
wins,
supuestamente tienen que
4
aparecer
losses,
los
1 draw.
partidos, pero no.
Only played 5 games. A nation that has also never been to the Under 20 World Cup. So you see the disparity in terms of experience at this level between these two nations, St. Martin and Guatemala. A team in St. Martin that's rarely been to the tournament, and Guatemala, a regular participant that has been in the Final Four on 2 occasions. They finished second in Panama back in 1962, and then in Mexico in 1973. They've also finished third twice before, and both of those times the event was held right here in Guatemala, with games played at this very stadium.
Nelson no aparece nada.
40th minute in a 1-0 game.
Ahí está Daniel Méndez, la tiene.
This is the opportunity. Oh, but Mendez couldn't get it by the final defender. Andre Richardson was back. Now Mendez again using his strength to hold it up, and it's going to be a foul and a free kick. So Richardson commits the foul And Daniel Mendez, with a good job using his physicality here to hold on to it, draws the whistle. Maybe went down somewhat easily, but they get the free kick here from the side, presenting some interesting options here. Be a three-man wall, it looks like, potentially. But do you try to use the left foot to curl it on goal? You just try to play it in and hope for a header or a volley? Again, as we've seen throughout this match, you've got Evans and Rakonkosh. A lefty and a righty, two options. Player down here for St. Martin, sitting in the arc there.
A Guate le está faltando gol. Demasiado. Sí, solo en inglés estaba vos, Gaby.
Just look at McGlure. He's literally dragging his defenders where he wants them. Something.
No, no lo pasaron en español.
And it will be Rakonkosh. Hesitation. Headed up into the air.
Ahí está Méndez. ¡Ay!
And goes out for a goal kick. A rocket from Daniel Mendez. After the bicycle kick was missed, and Mendez from close range. Watch this. Krillwitz couldn't make solid contact, but Mendez did and almost made it 2-0. Final minutes, first half. Mendez wins it back here on the flank. Got two defenders to deal with. And it's well done. But then Evans loses possession. Now Tyler Flanders here was credited with the own goal. Headed down by Munoz. Now Escobar.
Es posible que solo un gol se haya echado en 45 minutos.
Look at this. Bolaños, well out of his goal, read that one well.
Les falta gol.
Good pass, right idea, but Bolaños had plenty of time to set that one up. Now a St. Martin player down. Will play on for the moment. He'll get back to his feet. Richardson will blast it out to the right-hand side, and then St. Martin concedes to Escobar here for Guatemala.
No llegan.
Should get about 2 minutes of stoppage time and 2 minutes of regulation left to go before we get there. Rudy Munoz.
Eso sí, San Martín tiene como 60 defensores. Se quedan ahí encerrados y no salen. Se dan cuenta, están jugando con línea de 5.
In goal for St. Martin. We've seen some shots just go wide. One hit the crossbar just a moment ago. So Guatemala has been buzzing. They've had numerous chances to have a multi-goal lead, but so far the only goal has come off the foot of a St. Martin player, Tyler Flanders. Otherwise, Guatemala might be a little more frustrated at this point in the game, but they do have the lead, they do have the momentum, so
Evans.
won't be feeling too bad about
Ahí va.
Here is Evans on the move.
Golazo. Bien.
2-0 for the home side.
Golazo de Matthew Evans. Quiero ver si ahorita en medio tiempo lo intento arreglar un poquito más para que logren ver mejor.
Evans, the LAFC product, just needed a couple of dribbles, and boy, that was pinpoint precision into the corner. Never hesitated. He's taken a couple of shots like that so far in this first half, and he's tried to pull him to the opposite side. That time went far corner. Bouncing ball with enough pace to beat McGlure. And that really is a difficult blow for St. Martin. So close to the end of the first half. Now, stoppage time coming up. Again, we'll have 2 minutes here, but now a 2-0 lead for the home side of Guatemala. And this couldn't be more excruciating for St. Martin. Go back to the loss. They're going to put 3 minutes up now, so an additional minute from what we were told. But here comes Guatemala once again. Rudy Munoz and a corner kick on the way. Guatemala not satisfied to take this 2-0 lead in the locker room at the break. Just to finish the thought, St. Martin giving up the only goal of the game in stoppage time to Curacao on Friday to lose their first game. They have the own goal here in the first portion of this opening frame tonight. Now, the Evans goal right before halftime to make it 2-0. And a corner kick. They're still not out of the woods. It's still not to the half. Home coach here on the outswinger. His line drive, a lot of air under this one, makes it through untouched and races out of the box.
Fino.
And a little too much on that.
Y lo voy a bajar un cacho, espérame. Voy a atravesar un cacho.
And the ball will slow things down here.
Piso.
And arriving just a little late was Aguilar. So the free kick for St. Martin.
Estaba ahí, sí, ya se mira mejor. Sí, va.
Well, 1 minute of stoppage time remaining here. St. Martin still looking for their first shots of the match. Here is Emery Chevalier losing the ball. Rudy Munoz charging forward. Ball's intercepted by Javon Baker. In the final seconds here of this first half. Should just about take us to the final whistle. Conversation here that takes us past the allotted stoppage time. But
Listo, Giovanni, ahí quedó.
should just about be up here. St. Martin in no hurry. And it's halftime in Guatemala. An own goal from Tyler Flanders. A goal near the end of the first 45 from
Bueno, el
Evans.
primer tiempo ya terminó.
3 halves of football, the host nation of Guatemala has scored 5 goals. And after 45 minutes here tonight in their second game in Group C at the Estadio Doroteo Guimach Flores, Guatemala has the lead 2-0 over St. Martin.
Ya saben, mínimo su like, suscríbanse para que crezca el canal. Tenemos 62 pelones, mínimo, suscríbanse pues. Para que así no nos bajen la transmisión. Váyanse suscribiendo.
Now the statistics will be coming up shortly, as well as the first half highlights, but as you will see, even though St. Martin
Pelas que solo
a little
tenemos
more
5
adventurous
suscriptores ahí.
in the first half tonight than they were in their first game,
Váyanse
all of the
suscribiendo
numbers
así.
are going to be
Arreglamos bien todo esto.
very one-sided in favor of Guatemala on the attacking end.
Todos los que puedan, váyanse suscribiendo
They
ahí.
were all over St. Martin, firing shots from different angles, creating opportunities, time of possession. Just an all-around, very sound first half play. Guatemala with a victory will resume their place in sole position of first here in Group C. And they would also go to 2-0 in the group, not only leading in points, but also in goal difference as well. It would be the first team to 2 wins here in this group.
Esperen un rato, pues ahí se los dejo. La Mara estaba con esta transmisión en un grupo.
Now this is the way that got underway. Second in the last 3 days for both of these teams here in Group C. And Guatemala would have an early chance in the opening minute. Bad giveaway, and it was McGlure who had to make an outstanding save. Evans racing in, and St. Martin just not awake here in the early going. And then another opportunity he applied by. They couldn't get the shot off. And then eventually it would be the own goal from Tyler Flanders off a deflected header coming from a corner. Didn't have much chance, just glances off his foot. And that would prove to be the opener on the night. But a lot of chances, including this one that was just dragged wide by Hector Prilwitz, looking for a second in as many games. More giveaways by the St. Martin defense. Mendez had a couple of opportunities here. This one from close range. And he was really active offensively. Also some set pieces that were pretty dangerous for the home side as well. And they also had this opportunity where Mendez would hit the crossbar from just outside the 6-yard box, looking to make it 2-0 there. Turned and kind of a blind shot. And then eventually it would be Evans racing to the top of the box, and from outside the 18, he fires it into the far corner. A decisive strike in the final 3 minutes of the first half. And that really puts St. Martin in a hole. It was going to be an uphill climb for them anyway, but now trailing by 2 at the break, a very difficult proposition for St. Martin in the second half to come. First half statistics also support what Guatemala proved on the video. 9 shots to none. 5 on goal to none. Absolute one-sided affair here. Guatemala with the 2-0 lead for St. Martin. They might feel lucky that they're not trailing by more at this point, considering the way those numbers look. And they certainly have a big challenge and a heavy lift ahead in the second 45 minutes, which is coming up shortly.
Se mira.
We are just about set for the second half here from the Estadio Doroteo Guamach Flores in Guatemala City. It's Guatemala 2, Martin Melo. An own goal by Tyler Sanders and a goal by Matthew Evans, the only scoring in the first half. Guatemala looking to win for the second time in as many games, and St. Martin in danger of dropping their second straight to open qualifying here in this CONCACAF Under-20 Championship. And substitutions for each team. First of all, it'll be Matthew Carty coming in for St. Martin at the break, and Selvin Sagastume will make his first appearance for Guatemala.
Empezó la segunda parte.
For Guatemala,
Y después que gente
just
disfrute,
for the sake,
cualquier cosa
in the
me
second
avisa.
45, now Jay, opening ways for that first half. St. Martin without a shot on goal. They were more opportunistic in the first half than we saw in the first game in terms of being brave enough to send players forward, willing to take some chances, but it hasn't produced anything of substance. They haven't gotten a shot on goal, haven't created many chances, haven't really forced Diego Bolognas to do anything in goal for Guatemala. Just hasn't turned out the way they had hoped. So, what can they do offensively to get back in this match? Might not be anything the way things are going, but that's the problem right there. They get the ball, and then they just play it forward without a real target that they're trying to hit on the end, and they just give it right back to Guatemala. So for Guatemala, they find themselves in a pretty solid position here. If things stay the way they are, they will be back at the top of Group C. They'll be in sole possession of first place. They will be ahead on goal differential as well. But you'd always like to add another one or two, just for good measure and for safety, just in case anything crazy happens in another game, somewhere along the line in terms of goals scored. Remember, when it comes to qualifying here, it is just each group winner that makes the final for the Under-20 Championship later this summer. Served in, headed up into the air. A series of headers, bicycle kick by Evans, and he never made contact. And the flag was up for offsides. Here's Richardson. Down the left wing, a lot of space, but his intended target is not going to be able to get there. Henry Chevalier just didn't have the pace to catch up with that one. That's another problem when you don't have a lot of possession and you win the ball and feel like you have to play it quickly because Guatemala is going to be swarming. Many times you don't have the proper weight on your passes, the right touch. You haven't seen a lot of the ball, so it's hard to get that proper touch. Evans able to keep this in. Taken away. Escobar recovers here. They'll try to play it through. Deflected header. And the floor came out, but didn't call for the ball. Kind of a mess with that situation, winding up in a corner kick for Guatemala, the first of this second half. Sagastume was one of their designated corner kick takers, and now coming in at the half, he'll be assigned to take a lot of these here in this second frame. Gone short a few times now. Laid off, played back in. Headed just wide. Mendez waiting at that far post. It looked like it should be a corner. And I believe it went off Javonsky Baker there. Because you had Diego Cuca and also Mendez, but it certainly looked like Baker was the last to head it. 60th minute here. Guatemala had a 2-goal win on match day 1, sitting on a 2-goal lead here on match day number 2. St. Martin still looking for their first goal of this qualifying tournament. Matthew Carty just in off the bench, a little too heavy. Mendez, again, using that size and strength to hold it up. Such a valuable asset. He can hold it there and wait for his teammates to come up in support, and now some physical after the whistle activity here from both sides.
Vamos a poner el resultado del partido porque si no.
And the first yellow card of the match, issued to Daniel Mendez. Pretty clean first half of play, and first booking comes here in the first 6 minutes of the second half. He was pushed down and took exception to that play. Nick was the one who knocked him into the barriers there, and then a few words for him. St. Martin, a relatively small team across the board, so they don't have a lot of height, a lot of physical stature, or physicality. Mendez has such an advantage in that regard. And Nick will also be assessed a card. Yeah, I thought that he should, at the very least, if Mendez was going to go in the book, then Nick should join him. He was the one who committed the original foul. And then Mendez got it for the retaliation. So bookings on both sides. Played long by Kuka. Almost stuck in behind everybody. Here's a good chance for Guatemala.
Penal.
Tackle inside the box, no call. Pretty clean from this vantage point.
Pilas, pues gente, váyanse suscribiendo, pues.
Now Mendelian plays it to Escobar. Guatemala resetting. Now Prilwitz here. Escobar making the run here through the middle. Prilwitz picks it up. St. Martin counter. 3v3 the other way. Chevalier with some daylight on the left-hand side. 1v1 situation here. Henry Chevalier, he's clipped. And there's the whistle. But it looks like they're going to call it just outside the box, I believe. It's going to be a yellow card. But let's see exactly where this foul occurred. I do believe it's just outside the 18-yard box here. Yep. Lands inside the box, but foul committed by Hector Prilwitz just before he got there. So, free kick for Sasha Barakat here. This is the most promising set piece that St. Martin has had all night. To have the lead, to give themselves some hope and try to get back into this match. They are without a shot of any kind registered here tonight. Have to take advantage of an opportunity like this. Marcotte into the wall, hits Evans, gets another chance, and then a line drive goes wide. Richardson with that last shot that missed the target.
Sí, se mira bien, va. Váyanse suscribiendo, gente.
Marcotte's got to do
Suscríbanse.
better from that position there. And so now Chevalier, the one who earned that free kick, will take the corner. Pretty good delivery. A whistle against St. Martin. Just don't bring enough guys up into the box to really create a chance, even though the service was pretty decent. Both goals come back in the first half. One early on and one late. And a chance to make it 3-0. And it is. Mendez just about putting this one away. Developing all evening long. He had his chances. He hit the crossbar, and finally he hits the back of the net as Daniel Mendez makes it 3-0 Guatemala. Now the defenders kind of got lost as Mendez kept running there, picked up the loose ball. Two defenders converging, and look at that. Mendez just swoops right in, picks it up. And McGlure really didn't have a chance. And a little extra energy in the fist pump after getting carded a short time ago. Extra emphasis for Daniel Mendez. And he gets his first goal of this qualifying competition. And not including that own goal for St. Martin back in the first half. It's now 5 goals by 5 different goal scorers for Guatemala here through the first 2 games. It underscores something I was talking about earlier, the depth and versatility across the board and the way they have so many different guys who can score goals and who can hurt you from different parts of the field. Speaking of the field, the St. Martin player down here we play on, however. And now he'll be tended to. You've got Krowitz, Escobar, Racancos, Evans, and Mendez. 5 different goal scorers for Guatemala, and that's very difficult for any nation to handle. You can't just sit on 1 or 2. They have spread the wealth around. Chevalier, who needs the attention medically. 3-0. As they score 3 for the second straight game. And they are well on their way to taking all 3 points once again. They'll get the maximum of 6 from the first 2 games. And at the very least, even if we should stay this way throughout the remainder of this game, Guatemala is going to be back in solo position in first place in Group C, and they're going to have a pretty big goal differential as well. With a few games left to go, they're going to be well on their way to qualifying for the Under-20 Championship. Mendez, the goal scorer, taken down. He's rolling around as the ball is cleared out for a Guatemala throw. David Zephyr tracking back to get him. Not a lot of ball there. Mendez still down. The referee just wants him to get the board underneath him and get him off the field to keep the game moving along. He's so close to the end line, they just they can usher him off and resume play. And a substitution now for St. Martin. As Joachim Joe is going to come on. And Ellie Nickpop will come on. Now, because of the unavailability of certain players, these were two of the ones that got moved around prior to the start of the game. As Joe was originally slated to be a starter, but started on the bench instead. Nick Pop was going to be a substitute on the bench. He got the start. Now he comes off here in the second half, and Joe is on for the first time. Escobar trying to find Mendez with the header. Munoz turning. All the way across to Evans. He's point blank. And Evans makes it 4-0 with the brace. His second of the night here in Guatemala. One goal in the first half. Now one so far in the second half. Had to control it and establish a tight angle here to go around McGlure. Just enough space to work with the defender Baker, trying to close the space. A little quick combination, left foot to right foot, slotting it home. And Guatemala well on their way to cementing their position at the top of this group. First multiple goal scorer for this team so far in this tournament. So now on aggregate through the first two games, Guatemala has scored 7 and just conceded 1. And that's going to be a Chevalier. Needlessly taking down Nathan Mendelian. And he didn't even touch him. I mean, it was something that looked in real time worse than it was. All right, Mendez, the goal scorer from a short time ago, is going to come off. He's going to be replaced by Axel de la Cruz. Second substitute for Guatemala. And the third will be Gary Perez. Ariel Recinos gives way. Interesting. On that last whistle and the yellow card, no contact was actually made.
Suscríbanse pues.
With the naked eye at full speed in real time. Sometimes the referee doesn't catch it. And sometimes he goes more by the intent or what he interprets to be the intent of the player who commits the infraction. And sometimes it's just the offended player who is able to avoid it. That's the only reason there's not actual contact and literally a foul on the play. And this is the type of game where frustration can continue to add up for St. Martin. If you get chippy, if you get more physical, and if they know that they just can't keep up with the horsepower of Guatemala, and they have no chance to get back in this game, they might just try to play a physical brand of football without really playing the strategy. Evans sitting on a hat trick now. Oh, good flick. Gets it to Segastume. free kick as Sagastume is taken down just outside the box. Player who came on at the break. And it was Andre Richardson who tripped him up. Four 0 in the 66th minute. It all started with the own goal and then has unraveled further here with 2 goals here in the second half. They've got Sagastume and Evans, right footer and a left footer. Sagastume blasted through the wall. McClure punches it up into the air and over the bar for a corner kick. Not a bad idea. Although I think he kind of slipped on it too, but just hammered it straight instead of trying to bend it. I don't know if that was a product of the slip or it just worked out that way. Lofts it all the way to the far side. And a corner this time from the flag. Now after tonight, Guatemala will have games left with Curacao and Aruba. Flag, all right, I should say, an infraction against St. Martin and another yellow card. And this one assessed to David Zephyr. Time wasting. Played in, McClure punches it out. Now Evans!
Golazo,
And he's got the
bro.
hat trick. Evans, a hat trick for Guatemala. And it is 6-0 for the home side. The LAFC product perched and waiting at the top of the box. McClure came out and left an empty net that Evans exploited. And able to just bounce it in. Just hits it down into the turf. Smart play. Sometimes if you hit it on the volley, it's easy to get under it.
Bueno, muchachos, ya vieron otro gol, Vivo, suscríbanse pues.
Use the hop. The keeper's out of the goal. And it bounces right into the back of the net. So Matthew Evans with 2 goals here in the second half. The hat trick for the game.
Pilas, gente, suscríbanse.
And it is all Guatemala here tonight on their home pitch at the Estadio Doroteo Guamuch Flores. Evans again carrying forward with daylight. Run down by Rudy Munoz. 6:20 left to go here in what is going to be a forgettable night for St. Martin. And we're going to get Santiago Garzaro coming into the game for Guatemala. Older Escobar will exit. Player for the New England Revolution. Here's Evans. Can't get there. It's a good win for Axel de la Cruz. The line drive is wide. Rudy Munoz very active down the left side here tonight. And another St. Martin player down inside his own box. It's always amazing, isn't it? How a player will stay down for so long, and then the stretcher or the board, whatever you want to call it, finally comes out. And then when it gets to them, somehow they magically jump up to their feet and are able to hobble off to the side. Interesting. Now, even though it's only the second day of matches here in Group C, things starting to take shape in this group. And Guatemala really grabbing control of the group here tonight with this convincing performance and leading 5-0 here. And as you look ahead, things are pretty dim for the likes of St. Martin, Aruba, Barbados, all three nations having already lost one match. St. Martin about to lose for a second time here tonight. Sagastume chips it to the far side. Capped in, runs by Evans, and then hits the crossbar. Drillwitz on the follow, and McClure makes the stop. That close for a 6-goal lead. Sagastume racing towards it. Got it to Perez. And the shot from Garzara rebounds all the way back out to Drillwitz, who was looking for his second goal in as many games. So the way the complexion of the group is looking, it seems like Curacao is going to have the only realistic shot at taking down Guatemala, because they're the only team outside of Guatemala that has won a match. And here again, a chance for Axel de la Cruz. He's going to go for a goal. It's blocked, but it comes right back to him. Chips it high to the back post. Bounce to McClure, and he grabs it. his clearance either. And Guatemala continues to come in waves. Free kick. So Curacao, in their pursuit of trying to catch Guatemala, no doubt has to be disappointed with their draw against Aruba earlier today, as Gabriel Cabrera is the next and final substitute for Guatemala, replacing Hector Krillitz. Dropping those 2 points really could be decisive for Curacao, because now they have a win and a draw through 2 games. Guatemala is going to have 2 wins. So Guatemala will be in first, Curacao second. Curacao will most definitely need to beat Guatemala, and they're going to need some goals in the process, because the goal differential right now is 6. And that's headed over the bar. So Curacao still with a chance, but Guatemala has to feel very satisfied about their position at the top of the group right now. And you have to win the group to qualify. And they will have a pretty convincing lead after tonight, inside of the final quarter hour. Guatemala hoping to secure one of the 6 spots available for the Under-20 Championship. That'll be played later this summer, joining the likes of the U.S., Honduras, Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, and the Dominican Republic, nations that have already qualified and are exempt from this process over the next week of trying to qualify from these groups. It's also a different qualifying format this year from the previous 2 editions. You've got the number of participating teams increased, as only 6 teams are exempt from this stage, the ones I just mentioned. So the qualifying groups were also increased from 4 to 6, with the 6 group winners qualifying for the final instead of the 4 teams that qualified in the previous 2 editions.
Dale, no.